experts, no insiders, just fans.
The longest-running weekly, overproduced, under-talented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast.
Nigga, please.
He's an angry elf.
Your mom goes to college.
The booty doll.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Speaking of wise old Jews, my name is Adam Baum. You are listening to Tuesday Night's Markdown, courtesy of the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast universe. We are here live to discuss. We got 4 shows to catch up on tonight, and to join me doing that is my co-host, REP, the executive producer, Rody Rob. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, REP. What is that?
EP.
EP. Oh, our EP.
A-O-R-U.
Oh, it sounded like you were doing
yeah.
like REP, like
Yeah.
REM.
Yeah, like he's my quarterback. He's our quarterback.
No, I get it now.
He's REP.
You said it very quickly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I'm not mad.
I was trying to get that intro to be just popping, and then you, of course, brought it down because that's what you do.
He's an angry elf. I'm the one that didn't have the music playing.
But we do have something exciting to announce if you want to get to that part that you're supposed to do.
We're going to go ahead and do that first?
It's right there on the script. Why not?
It is. Oh, we're scripted now. Good job,
We're
Vince.
not scripted.
Handcuffing the talent, people. He's handcuffing the talent.
I'm not handcuffing the talent. It's a damn rundown.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, so we're excited. 2019 is going to be, for us, we have a lot of things that we're working on to really change our brand, right? Not just our podcast, but our entire brand. Because we've been doing this, we're going to be 3 years in January.
Yep.
Right? 3 years in January at the Rumble. And, you know,
ever since that first Rumble with the tight butthole, it's been downhill.
Right. And we've seen growth in viewers and in our own knowledge of doing this and fandom, whatever. We've seen highs and we've seen lows, but we haven't seen the growth that we wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
So we're deciding to go in different directions as far as some of our extra content goes. And another thing is we are announcing today the launch of markedoutgear.com. That's markedoutgear.com. It's our own new apparel line. It's still in its opening phases, so you can get some apparel for the actual brand itself, markedoutgear.com, or you can get some podcast apparel, you know, some of our taglines.
We got the Monday Night
logos.
Raw some shirt. We got the Tuesday Night Smarkdown shirt.
Right, we're going to have a shirt on there. Monday Night DVR is going to be on there soon.
And what about the onesie with the baby for Mark and Training?
Yeah, if you got a, you know, yes, exactly. There's the baby.
Killer dog.
Yes. But so we're kicking off our new line here. If you go on there, use the promo code markedout or SmartMarkShow, it'll give you 10% off on the full order. Again, markedoutgear.com is what we're announcing the launch of. And again, our inventory will grow, right? Mm-hmm. But we are here to talk about wrestling. So
well, and also don't forget, guys, it's Rumble time. So we, of course, we'll plug the details later on some of this stuff. But I just want to tease it a little bit. We will be doing our tattoo challenge on the Rumble.
Yep.
For those of you who didn't understand why I mentioned the tight butthole for the first Rumble, that's part of that tattoo challenge. We'll cover that later. And the road to our marked out Hall of Fame, which I guess has become the Deadpool.
You know what? This right. Every time we get a Hall of Famer, they leave us.
Should we just say the Hall of Fame is the Deadpool?
Upload test gone.
Yeah, our initial. Yeah, our inaugural invitee,
right?
Inductee, whatever.
Hitman, was he best? Was he Hall of Fame? No,
Noah was.
Noah, that's right. Noah's the only other one.
And then Noah Hostetler. Now he changed his name.
He's a wrestler. Yeah,
he's unassociated with us anymore.
Right, exactly.
He forgot all about that. We allowed him to play the Blink 182 atrocity song on our podcast.
We have so much capital with him.
Yes, and yet he left us in the dust.
Noah is a traitor. He's a traitor. I'm a wrestler now.
Well, I always thought he was going to be, but I always thought it was going to be because he got a girlfriend, not because he became a wrestler and started hating us.
We love you, Noah.
Yeah. Come back. We're just bitter. So speaking of all these people for Hall of Fame candidates, that is our YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch chat board participants that we're talking about.
Right.
And tonight we have Berto, we have Teddy, who is always two-stone.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Captain Obvious is here. Juan is here. Berto's here. Did I see anybody else? Mac Attack. What's up, buddy? He shows up from time to time. Glad to see he's on the board.
I think this might be the best class or talent pool to choose from.
I don't want to pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick because they're going to go away. Yeah, like we pick Berto, then we'll never hear from him again. We pick Juan, he's gone.
Hey, let me react to Juan here. Juan says Rob looks like he's still recovering from the bender last night. Oh, I got bent, and yes, I am very much still recovering.
Yeah, there's a lot of photographic proof on that one too.
Oh, dude.
Also, don't forget, guys, we'll get into more details. This last little plug.
Teddy, there will be a shirt for you.
Since I don't want you guys to think that our new format just means plug, 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 and we're not talking about wrestling. So it's the one final one here. For those of you that are our YouTube viewers, not just our podcast listeners, we're going to do something new tonight. It's our own little extra something. It's called the Dark Match. So after the credits roll, make sure you stay tuned. For now, let's talk about while we were away.
Can we let's give a plug to the Dark Match.
Okay.
So after the credits, right, we're going to do a movie review.
We're going to talk about stuff that isn't wrestling.
Right. And today is going to be a movie review for the movie Bumblebee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rob and I went and saw the Bumblebee. I don't want to give you guys spoilers. That's why it's a Dark Match. But stay with us after the credit. If you don't give a shit about seeing it and just want to hear some people talk about it, we're going to do some pop culture shit there.
There you go.
As the Dark Match. For now, while we were away, we got to go back to Christmas Eve. Well, let's just talk a little bit about the 12/24 Christmas Eve Raw. Of course, it was taped. Mr. McMahon very low-key announced that we were going to have tag titles.
And low-key,
for women's.
And low-key, I don't think many people realize how awesome that is, right? The fact that we made the comments before, or I have, that every time the women get something new, it's always this grandiose, emotional journey and show and announcement. And finally, the women got something announced just kind of low-key, like, then this is happening. Good. Awesome.
And I agree with you 100% that I'm glad they didn't do all of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they already shit all over the men's tag team titles. That doing this made it feel like they're like, yeah, here's another tag division we don't give a shit about.
Yeah, but what they're doing right here is it seems like
so it's a catch-22.
But they're doing.
I mean, you see my point, and I see yours.
I know you don't see my point because you won't let me talk long enough to get it out.
I'm trying to look.
No, you interrupted me every 3 words. Come on, dude. We talked about this. Anyway, they haven't mentioned anything about. See, right there again. What the fuck, man? They haven't mentioned anything about the 2 different brands having their own belts. So it's going to be one tag belt for the entire women's division.
Let's hope.
Yeah. I could have got that out in 5 seconds, by the way. You extended that whole second.
I mean, let's hope that that's the case. I don't think this show can sustain 2. But the one thing that you take away from this is, Rob, if they do have one for both shows, then why don't they have one for the men for both shows?
Well, I think that maybe they expected to do more, and maybe they're learning from their mistakes. Maybe they're going to consolidate certain belts, right? Why do we need 2 tag team belt on each side?
Attack of the Cat.
I know these fucking studio cats, man. Anyway, and to Berto here, the best part of the announcement, Rob, Steph didn't make it. It's here there. He said in the belt. I don't think the belts are a shit idea. Why can't the girls have a tag team belt?
I don't think it's a bad idea because the big issue I've had, check the tape, is women tag matches constantly. They're just hodgepodging these groups together. Now, if you actually make them a tag team, it's not me and Rob every week. It's marked out. We're marked out when we come down to the ring,
Right.
Now you're going to brand them. I mean, we've sensed it coming ever since they put the Bossy Hug connection together.
Right. And I would honestly, the pageantry of wrestling, I'd love to see some of the ideas that women can come up with together as far as, like, the Rockers had the same look and the Young Bucks have the Rockers look.
Well, and you guys always accuse me of being sexist, but let's face it. I don't like the tag match when it was like, we have 2 women that are fighting for the women's belt, and we don't know what to do with the rest of the division, so we're throwing them out in a tag match. Now you're giving the rest of the women something to do. Right. The ones that aren't singles competitors or vying for the title. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm 100% down with this. I think it's a great idea. And you know, and I'm not one of these big, women should get everything, men should. I'm not one of these guys, one of those, those kind of people. I mean, I believe they have the right to everything.
Right.
But this is one of them things where I'm like, they should be able to have a tag belt as well.
And it gives them a more featured spot. I know we're supposed to do speed round, but that's the one to talk about.
Yeah.
Next one is definitely a speed round. So Cena seemed to be helping Heath Slater, and guess what? It turned out to be Rhino.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah. No surprise there that was all
Cookies
a
and
thing.
milk. Yeah.
Natty, she had her number 1 contender match. No surprise. She tapped to Ronda, and then they immediately hugged, and Ronda cried because she made her tap and almost broke her arm.
And that makes 2 weeks in a row that Natty stands tall, right, at Raw at the end?
Well, I mean, stands tall, yeah. Ronda picked her up.
Well, I mean, 3 weeks in a row, actually, that I think Natty was the ending.
Yeah, Natty needs to be a trainer, like you said. Balor, Finn Balor, he pinned Drew to win the triple threat with Drew, Dolph, and Balor. Of course, Dolph kind of screwed Drew a little bit, so that's partially why Balor got the pin. Balor seems to be on a roll. That's the one thing I'll take away from that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Elias, he took it down, both Lashley and my man. He took them down in a Miracle on 34th Street match.
Yep.
Ready for 12:25 Christmas SmackDown. Santa Truth and Daniel Bryan mixed words. Honestly, I don't want to talk about this too much, but I thought it was a good segment because Daniel Bryan's the champ and R-Truth is number 30. I thought it was a good little build, especially for a bullshit edition, and have them go fight. Why not?
I'm still bitter they gave that number away.
I know, but I mean, the concept, number 30 is fighting the champ here is fine, is what I'm saying is good. Not necessarily the participants.
But we can agree that Truth has no chance in hell to win the Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mustafa Ali and Andrade Cien Almas in a featured match. Don't forget, Ali pinned Daniel Bryan the week before. And, of course, after the match with Almas, Daniel Bryan attacked him backstage. This is weird. This is still a 205 Live guy that is in a featured spot against the champ.
But well, I mean,
week upon week.
Technically, they have officially said he's
moved
on
the
roster to they made that distinction. But you're right.
But I mean, he didn't debut against Ty Dillinger. He didn't debut against Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
Level. He didn't even debut. He debuts against the champ and keeps being in matches against the champ. I mean, we'll get ahead of ourselves, but tonight he's in a fucking number 1 contenders match.
Yeah.
His 3rd fucking week on the program. Sorry for all the fuckings.
Yeah, it's cool. His push is confusing. I don't hate it. I like it. I don't know how much I like it. But, yeah. You're looking for your sound effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Yeah.
I was confused by it.
The moment was over.
Bob was confused, too. So Miz, remember he's already stolen the kicks from Daniel Bryan. Now he's stealing the yes chant. Tried to do a Miz TV Christmas special, and it's all about he wants to steal the yes chant, and it just went on way too long with Shane.
It was different to see Miz put himself as a vulnerable character. I like that.
Like testing the waters?
I don't know. I don't know if there's purpose behind it or if he's just trying a new direction.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going. Jeff Hardy got disqualified against Samoa Joe, giving him the win. But then he, of course, ends up face down in the aftermath because Joe beat his ass afterwards. Shinsuke lost the title in a taped match that everybody knew about ahead of time. He lost the U.S. title to Rusev.
Well, we're really not.
What a shame.
We're really not going to talk about this tonight. So I'll just say that tonight confused me with when Shinsuke came out and attacked Rusev, because it's been made very clear. It was made very clear tonight that the rematch, or Monday night rather, with Hunter, the rematch clause is gone.
Out the window.
It is gone. It is no longer a thing, and rightfully so. I like that. But it confused me. So when Shinsuke attacked Rusev tonight, was it more or less I just want to beat your ass one final time and walk away, because he did drop the belt on him, or was it a continuation of the program between these two?
Well, now let's be honest. I think they're going to back this, you don't get a rematch thing. But I also think that the champ immediately is in whatever the contender match is. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
So you and I fight for a title.
Okay.
I'm the champ.
Yeah.
You win the title. You take it from me.
Yeah.
I don't get my rematch against you, but I should be in the number one contender match.
And
that's where I think Knock is. That's how AJ
Maybe.
re-entered.
Are you saying that as if like that could happen, or as a rule of thumb?
Not as a rule of thumb, as an 80% rule. Because I think 80% of the time, the former champ is going to be involved in the new number one contender battle.
But that's not necessarily true, because if you look at other combat sports, when a guy loses the title, he falls to the fucking bottom of the list, man.
The ones that aren't scripted, you're right.
Right. So I'm saying, if you're trying to,
that's why I'm saying I'm asking the question, Rob, because this is scripted. Do you think it's going to go the opposite way?
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe.
I mean, like, that's what it feels like because of what happened with AJ tonight. Yeah, guess what? You don't get a rematch. You get to be, though, in the contendership.
The dynamic, see, it's a small thing. The rematch thing is a small kind of thing, but it's not. It's actually a really huge thing. It's very massively big. And I say that because since I've been watching wrestling, since I was old enough to watch TV, and I'm 40 years old now, it's always been, the program has always been, no matter what promotion it is, that the champion gets challenged, he loses his belt, and then it's a rematch to get it back, or vice versa, or he loses it, and then the champ goes to the next.
It's either the blow-off or
right.
Yeah.
This has been the standard practice for professional wrestling booking forever.
Right.
Forever. And this is an entirely new chapter. So are we saying that when a title match is over, regardless of winner, that those two, that is the blow-off? That is it. There is nothing after that.
See, I don't think it's I don't think you can categorize it as a blow-off until that, because that's what I think this is. This is just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Until that former champ is not in the contender match.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the blow-off.
Okay.
If AJ had lost tonight, then yes, what we had at TLC was the blow-off.
I think they should really do, if they're going to do this, they should really have a top 10 contender list.
Yeah, but
they
how,
really
how far do you fall when you lose it?
I could see not. I mean, in the old school, back when we got the magazines and all that stuff all the time, the former champion usually
ends up at third.
Well, I think
maybe fourth.
Yeah,
seventh,
second, maybe first in some cases as number one contender, but usually.
Oh no, I'm thinking first is the champ. Sorry.
So you got champ, number one contender, the former champ who just lost, I guess, and the number 3 would be the mid card belt. Oh, the mid-card champion is always like the third contender. I don't know. This is an interesting dynamic, and it's much bigger than I think everybody's given attention to.
I think it's a big dynamic because, honestly, I don't want to cut us off here, but we are going to move on because we could talk about this a lot more.
Really good.
We finally have topics that we can talk about, Rob, without having to go, here's the next shit. I mean, so it's not just our attitudes are going to change. We'll get to that later. But, I mean, we're getting a better product to talk about.
Right.
There's more ifs, ands, or buts. The big thing to take away from what all this is no more predictability. No more, I lost to Rob, so next month we're going to fight again.
Right.
And then if I win the month after that, that means Rob gets his rematch.
Sure. And I want to address
Brock
here.
Lesnar bullshit.
I want to shoot here that, where is this? It's Alex Carter, Captain Obvious. Rusev's still stuck in the mid-card, kind of a sad face there. I don't think that's so bad. Again, we're not going to talk about this in the topic, so I can bring it up now. I don't think it's so bad for him being the U.S. champion. If you think back to the old days, right, Lex Luger as U.S. champion, or Honky Tonk Man, or Macho, or Warrior as IC champion, Rick Rude.
The belts were prestigious then, though.
They were, right, exactly. So why is it like, he's stuck in the mid-card still? No, he's the champ of the mid-card, which in the tradition and the history of wrestling has always been a major player on the program.
And that, everything that you just said, you're talking about the IC. And that is
No,
the way.
I'm not.
Well, because
Well,
the U.S. has been the redheaded stepchild since
of the
being a part of
WWE.
WWE. Correct.
But in the history of the U.S. belt, Luger was a major player on WCW, and Wyndham was too. And
just
they
like all
owned
the
those
IC
belts.
champs you just named. I'm agreeing with you, Rob. I'm
Right.
just saying, like, because they have the U.S. title is the bridesmaid to the mid card. And I'm sorry, the reason I think that Captain Obvious is stating that is because Rusev is now, I think, a third or fourth time U.S. champion and has never sniffed. He had one match for the heavyweight championship, and that was, I believe, on SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
He's been over as hell. You broke him up with Aiden to give him a push away from this tag team Frankenstein garbage, and it's really not paid off.
I don't think he's ready for the main event.
I don't either. But the fans, you now is be the time to strike. You say you want new matchups and stuff.
No, strike him on the mid card.
He looked really good in his rivalry with Daniel Bryan.
Okay, fine, but he still let him control the mid card. You can have a good little rivalry with somebody.
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him fight Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Though, because normally
No.
those two body types don't work. I think though the technical and agile ability of those two, maybe they could make it.
Let's see if he can do a mixture of his talent with this new kind of fun-loving personality he has going on.
Who's going to fight? Randy?
Well, you obviously things are changing. The dynamics of who's where and what's going to happen are changing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't just assume now that. See, the problem you're having here with everything is when you're saying, oh, this is going to change this situation, you're still putting all the old shit with it. We have to think that new stuff is coming, right? We don't know what's going to attach itself to this or that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hinata Hyuga joining us on the board. We're going to get to your question about Asuka and who's fighting her. TP Poker's joining us over on Twitch. He says U.S. title is for the chumps. And he wants to talk about Mandy Rose. Don't worry, we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
And JC6553, he says you lose, to the bottom you go. I don't think it's that bad. And Gino Morgan, welcome back. He says too many titles.
Oh, I agree. I mean, and that's
partially why U.S. is treated like the stepchild.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if you consolidate the tag belts, right, one tag belt between both brands, one women's tag between both brands. The women can still, I think, one big belt, men's belt. You know what? Fuck it. Just lock them all together. Put them all together. Have right down the row, and maybe you could do a TV champion on each brand, like I said before.
See, they tried it before, and I think there's a better way to do it. They really never experimented most, but your champ goes to both shows, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you will really want to do these contenderships and make it worthwhile. Well, this month Raw gets the challenge for the title. Next month SmackDown gets the challenge for the title. You know, and you really make these shows, the contenderships, like you said, the top 10
I don't like
ranking.
that, but yeah, okay.
But if you're going to do a top 10 ranking, now it's really important to be up near the top.
Yeah.
I don't know, and then you can set up legitimate four-ways with the top 3 contenders. I don't know. There's lots more you could do with it.
Sure.
The final part of SmackDown from Christmas, Vince tried to pump up AJ. If this is the house that AJ built, why aren't you the champ? This is the house that AJ built. Why aren't you?
Yeah.
Vince got in his face, and we've talked to the marks of the world. Oh, well, Vince doesn't like AJ. Well, Vince does this. Vince is on TV consistently now for the first time in a long time, and it's to do an angle with AJ. So all us marks out there can shut the fuck up, and the way they're doing it is perfect.
And it's so interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, just as a fan,
intriguing.
It very, very much is. You know, when AJ first came in, and he went straight up with Cena, everybody's like, "Fuck yeah, okay, this is a Hogan Rock kind of matchup here." And I don't think it's big, but
they got right to it too.
But then they got right to it. But the Vince thing I think is even bigger than those two, because it's just AJ has been that talent that Vince has just kind of went, I don't see the big deal.
He passed on him back then. He had multiple times to get him.
Right.
It's not like AJ signed a lifetime contract with TNA, and when they became Impact, that's how he finally got out of it. You know, every time his contract expired, Vince, I'm sure, had his phone number and could have picked up the dial and called him and didn't.
Well, Vince doesn't watch other programs, so he probably got recommended.
Well, that's what he says. There's no way he can't.
No, that's what other people say. Like Pritchard and all them, they say he doesn't watch other people's shit.
Aren't you a Panther fan?
I am.
Okay, don't you watch other football games?
Nah.
Really?
I mean, Highlights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I believe Vince's time is important, but I'm sure he watches highlights.
I don't think he does. I think
if someone tells him it's a great match, you don't think he watches it?
I don't think he cares. I think he thinks a great match happens here and there, whatever. I think somebody might come to him and say, "Hey, this guy's kind of talented. What do you think about it?" He might, well, show me his stuff, and maybe he'll go, "Oh, he's a fat Samoan," or "Oh, he's too small."
God damn, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't Pritchard say he didn't want to be influenced was part of the reason why he didn't watch other people's shit?
I didn't hear that, but maybe he did, and if that's the case, that's stubborn.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well,
anyway.
Vince McMahon, I think when he dies, is going to be when you look up stubborn in the dictionary. Anyway, it ends with AJ knocking Vince on his ass. We'll cover the rest of that as we get into tonight. 12:31, that is last night Raw. Drew McIntyre, as I said, got pinned the week prior to Finn Balor. Well, he absolutely destroyed Dolph Ziggler in a cage.
Fucking brutal.
And he declared his love for the Universal title and said that he doesn't care who he's got to go through to get it.
I was absolutely loving the ending segment of this match and him doing his promo until the word Universal title came out of his mouth.
Yep.
Like, and
that's kind of the theme, because the next thing that happens is Triple H. Keep in mind, we're doing this little timeline. Triple H does exactly what Vince did to AJ, except he does it to Seth. Same pep talk.
A lot of mirroring.
A lot of similar angles. And what happens? Seth says, I want that Universal title.
Yeah.
I think there's no way Braun and Brock are going to be one-on-one at the Royal Rumble.
You really think so?
I think that the give people what they want. The fans are going to say, we don't want that. And they're going to add either Drew, Seth, or both.
Again, look, you've been saying this a lot for the last couple of weeks about, the fans are going to say this and then they're going to react to it. I don't think you understand the concept the way I understand it when they say we're going to start listening to the fans. The fans are not going to decide who we push.
Check the tape. I've said that. I've said exactly what you're about to say.
What?
That there's no way they can do their business based on what the fans say.
Right.
There's no way they can do this. But they can look and go, our fucking main event, our last contractual obligation with Brock Lesnar, he has our belt. We have him going against a person that we should have put over already, that the fans are fair weather to, and we're going to have the blow-off at Rumble to set up the road to WrestleMania with just a one-on-one with him and Braun. And then also, by the way, Braun's coming back from elbow surgery. What kind of match can they really put on that's any different than what we've already seen? You throw in Seth, you throw in Drew, now you got a completely different match. You change the variables, and Brock Lesnar can now, Rob, walk out of Rumble without the belt and without being pinned.
Yeah, but Rumble needs Seth and Drew in it. And with the other main event of Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
You're making a good point.
That's a big match. Braun and Brock, who cares?
You win.
Okay.
I concede right there because of that. I didn't think that meant that Drew and Seth are not in the Rumble.
Yeah.
You win.
Thank you.
I won't say it.
Hey, everybody. Rob wins.
Thank you.
So you're right, because they're going to be in there. What do you do to fix this Braun-Brock situation? Well, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, on the road to Rumble.
I don't think you fix it. I think that Braun somehow wins, gets the belt, and Drew McIntyre and Braun have recent heat.
The only way to make it better would be if Paul goes with Braun, and that's how Brock. To make it better this time, because there's so many times that Braun had Brock, and then Brock hits one F5 and wins. I mean, they I don't know.
Yeah,
it's played out.
Yeah.
Let's go on. 6 women in normal tag matches. So they had a total of 10 women on Raw, and they chose to put them in 2 different tag matches. What? Why?
Well, no, but hold on now. Obviously, they're building the tag division.
I get the Tamina and Nia Jax.
Right.
Why are they fighting Natty and Ronda? Okay, Natty and Ronda last week fought for the title with each other, and they're still friends. Get it. Nia Jax is not in the title picture and doesn't need to be. Tamina is just a fucking lackey. They should be starting the tag division with them. They should have been fighting Bossy Hug Connection or Riot Squad or something like that.
No, I think that
Instead, they threw Ember with Bossy Hug against Riot.
I think first off that they're doing some kind of a Freebird thing with those three. They actually
with
made
Riot Squad.
No, with Ember and the Boss Hug Connection.
Really?
They actually made a comment. They made a couple comments that lended itself to believe that they were forming a three-woman group. Okay, so they're building that. But I actually think that having the Nia Tamina is the ultimate goal of the Boss and Hug. I see them meeting somewhere.
Yeah, for the titles. Probably
sure.
in the tournament for the title, whatever
so now
it is.
you have the Munsters versus the smaller, the underdogs or whatever. I like this tag match they had with the girls. I liked it. Tamina
I'll be
one.
honest, I fast forwarded.
I know you did. The Tamina one that could have been lower in the card. It didn't need to end the show.
Definitely didn't need to end the show.
Ronda is irrelevant in my mind.
And by the way, Natty has now
Stike.
closed the show like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So that's definitely there.
Why don't you hit the board?
Mac Attack is talking about. I was gonna go to the board, but Mac Attack just wants to talk about Mandy's picking a towel. Even though she shows more skin in the ring gear.
That's funny. That's funny.
Captain Obvious, of course, earning his keep. He says Seth's gonna win the Rumble.
I don't know.
I still say it's Miz, Seth, or Drew.
I think
those would be my top 3 right now.
I think we've been begging for Miz. And
don't forget, at the end of the show, you got to pick.
I know it's one of them things where your presidential candidates run. You're like, oh, I want that dude, and then like they decide not to run, and they're like 4 years later, you're like, I don't want to see you run anymore. I'm over you already. That's how I am with the Miz. It's like he had a big moment. I still love him, but he was on top of the world. Like I want him to win the Rumble. I want him to do this. I want him to do that. And now I'm just like,
Yeah, but I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I don't want to blow my wad on something else by saying that.
Sure.
Oh, Mandy, TP Poker says over on Twitch. Let's just go to the next one. We saw more new people promos. Do you think these guys debut at the Rumble? Do you think that EC3, Lars, all those people they said, do you think they wait till the Rumble and that's where they make their debuts?
Maybe.
Doesn't that feel weird for Heavy Machinery? Because that means they don't debut together.
Yeah, they should debut beforehand. Absolutely. I mean, you can't debut a tag team at the Rumble.
But Lacey, Nikki, Lars, EC3, they could come in as entrants.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
So
Absolutely.
you think you don't see them until then? That's what I put this as a speed round here because we keep seeing the same fucking promos.
I think we'll see them maybe on the Go Home show.
Okay.
Or some of them. Not all of them, maybe.
Maybe they say come out and cut a
Lars
shoot.
Lars comes out and whoops somebody's ass. Oh, here you go.
And a huge melee.
Here you go. You're doing your traditional. Everybody's fighting in the ring at the end of the episode on the Go Home show, and then Lars comes out and just cleans house, and then fade to black. Rumbles the next 2 days later.
Fade to black, and you could do that because Braun wouldn't be in there, so he could clean house.
There you go.
Wow, I can't talk. I knocked the mic right away from me. Finally, this one is a weird one. I had to put it on here. Apollo, he got some shine, and Corbin stayed relevant.
Well, let's put in perspective because I don't think you're giving that the justice it needed. So we had the fresh start battle royal is what we had, right? And Apollo had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but he had 8 eliminations in that battle royal. Obviously, so at that point you knew
and he's been featured more lately.
He has been. So they're obviously continuing his push here. So he earned the shot at the IC belt to face Dean Ambrose. Did you think it was going to be a fairy tale? Dean told you it wasn't, but Dean was right. Apollo looked great in that match, but that match was boring as fuck, and it was just slow fucking paced. It's a Dean Ambrose match, man.
Well, Dean Ambrose, okay, here's the thing about Dean Ambrose. He's always slow, but a good wrestler, chain wrestler, gets him to look faster.
Yeah.
He looks good when he fought AJ. He looked good when he fought Seth.
Yeah.
Like certain people he can look good with.
Yeah.
Apollo's not one of them.
My thing is
no knock on either guy.
No,
didn't mesh.
Well, my knock on Apollo, and I like Apollo, but I think he's very green. I think he should still be in NXT, honestly, Apollo. Because when I watch his match, to me, he doesn't tell a story to me. He just does one big move, and then another big move, and then another big move. And you're like, okay, dude, you're all fancy and flying around, but your substance is missing.
You're forgetting that's what he's become since he went face, because that's what faces do.
No, he's always been a face. He never had a heel moment.
Seth?
Oh, I'm talking about Apollo.
Oh,
what
Apollo.
are you talking about?
Yeah, Apollo's sorry.
We were talking about Apollo. Where the fuck were you at?
I thought you were talking about Seth. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you're right. He's all flash and substance. But again, to be devil's advocate for him, when you got 5 minutes, how do you stand out? I got to do these 3 spots to make sure everybody sees my athleticism.
That's my point, that he needs to go to NXT or something. He's not ready to have that push to carry a belt, to carry a division.
What's his weight?
No, he's not 205 Live. He's bigger than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, much bigger.
I don't know. He looks the size of Tony Nese. To me?
No, he's bigger when you're blind.
Okay. Well, I've never seen him side by side.
Okay.
Fair is fair.
Okay. Also, you left off here. Moment of Bliss debuts next week.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the tease.
With Ronda.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss gets her own talk show.
Well, she was cleared, right?
She was cleared, but to my knowledge, she hasn't wrestled yet.
All right. Cool.
So what are you going to do when that happens? You're going to go nagana.
What you need to make a good smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
Captain Obvious says Apollo's the same weight as Cena.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. All right.
He must be thick as shit.
Three key ingredients of tonight. We have AJ Styling is number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Can't See the Man.
No, you can't.
And number 3, Rumble announcements. And look, tonight's SmackDown, and I really enjoyed tonight. I'm really enjoying the program in both nights. But tonight's program was great because you had larger storylines that, and then you had a bunch of little ones in there, and the little ones are great, and the large ones weren't too large that they overwhelmed the little ones. It was a good kind of happy medium pace.
Felt like the way NXT's been lately.
It felt very much like NXT.
Yeah, we just because we have this going on for the title doesn't mean we're going to forget about the little people.
Yeah, all the way down.
Number 1.
AJ Styles would say all the way down to the use of roster too. What we talk about not having everyone on.
You don't need to.
No, you don't. So AJ Styles. So we saw AJ Styles. Obviously, we talked about McMahon, beating him down or him getting slapped by McMahon. But yes,
and it's not a one-off.
Right.
They're revisiting it right back to it.
They're doing it. We saw AJ in the office with some eyes with Shane. They put a little drop in the water, a little seed for Shane and AJ on this one because Shane stood up to
again.
You don't think so?
I mean, that was Mania 2 years ago. You think they need to revisit that?
I don't think. I think this is going to be the blow off with Daniel Bryan. I don't think he's going to have another. I think AJ loses to Daniel Bryan.
Absolutely.
Right, and then what then? Well, actually, I take it back because Shane's going to be doing the tag thing with Miz. So
and I think AJ, although I don't see him winning at Rumble and I don't see him winning after that. I can't remember who has the Elimination Chamber, but if it's SmackDown, that they give,
I think it is SmackDown.
If SmackDown is the one who gets the Elimination Chamber, how can you have a 6-person match and AJ not be in there? So AJ could be around the title picture without actually ever winning it.
True.
Just to get some featured people over.
All right, so we saw, McMahon is stoking the flames. I want the real AJ, God damn it, which led to our fatal 5-way between Ray, Joe, Orton, AJ, and Mustafa Ali again. Again. This I don't get this. It's a confusing push to me.
Does he have pictures of like Linda McMahon blowing Trump under the desk of the White House?
He's the one that's got the pictures of Linda pissing on Trump. It was actually Linda. They didn't put it out there.
I mean, seriously.
No,
nobody is being rocketed better than him.
And you know what? I'm not hating it.
Me neither. He's a great talent.
It is, and I'm glad to see them give him this push, this opportunity to show he can do it.
Future Hall of Famer Mustafa Ali.
The choice, right? The choice is shocking to me. The choice is shocking. Why him? Out of that whole talent pool you have in 205 Live, why Mustafa Ali?
I don't. It's weird. I think the guys that and you might say that I'm right here. This is how good this point might be. The people that get over that they never gave a title to, they're like, fuck, we got to get behind this guy. We've been screwing him over title after title shot after title shot on 205 Live, and he steals the show every time. Fuck it, bypass everything. Just send him to the main roster and see what he can do, and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that have done that and become something. Alexa Bliss, perfect example.
Yeah, you're right.
Never won a damn thing, got on the main roster with a little bit of gimmick and some sass, and look, we got a gymnast who can wrestle.
Can we play the angry elf Roberto? Can we play the sound effect? This is
tonight,
Roberto.
Tonight, he absolutely is. I know we're not reading all the comments.
He's an angry elf.
All
Roberto,
right.
you're angry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Stike says, I don't mean to be mean to you, Stike, but he goes, all pay-per-views are co-branded. We got it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to do 2 elimination chambers. Either one is
Stike, use your memory exercises.
Yeah, I think one show will have a title match, and the other will have a elimination chamber. Maybe it'll be a contendership. Maybe it'll be 3-on-3 from each show, and it'll just be for a contendership, not for the belt. I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
Berto says all the promos on tonight's show are awful. They are so repetitive. I'm the man. I'm the Samoan. I will take out all your heroes. I'm wearing a mask. The real AJ Styles. Same old shit. Oh, I think you're being
the real AJ Styles is same old shit. 2 months ago, Joe was stalking his family.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a same old shit. Daniel Bryan is taking his to infinity and beyond, his new hate of everyone. Yeah. I don't think that's the same old shit. Again, I love you, Berto, but
you're bitter, bro.
Check the tape, man.
Bitter Berto.
Yeah. That might maybe Berto wants to be one of our first shirts on the marked out gear for our fans.
Bitter Berto?
Yeah, Bitter Berto.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll put a picture of Juan on the back just to really make Berto bitter.
Juan with a biscuit and butter. Love you, Juan.
No, Juan doesn't have biscuits anymore. Oh. Bang Bus GM must have just got off the set.
Hey,
He's joining us.
You know what we forgot to mention at the opening of the show?
Oh. What did we forget to mention?
Kevin.
No, we'll get there. Fuck him. He didn't show up.
Right.
He gets buried in the end of the show.
Okay. Did they cut promos, Berto asked. Who? What are you talking about? I don't know. Just stop being angry.
Captain Obvious says Berto doesn't think like us. I feel like every time Captain Obvious touches the keyboard, he just further earns that name.
So to summarize this first ingredient, though.
In summary.
Or not summary, to conclude it. Just saying now we have the guaranteed Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the title at Rumble, which means AJ Styles is not in a Rumble, so you take that card off the table.
Which is good.
It's good. No, it's fine. You don't need him in it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that he's not in it because if he was in it, the narrative of Michael Cole and the Fruity Pebbles will be, this is AJ's chance to get right back into the title picture and blah, 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 and he would be a red herring. He wouldn't win it. I like him not being in it. Like I like Braun not being in it.
Will he finally main event a pay-per-view because of Daniel Bryan being the champion?
No. Because they
Brock
did.
and Braun will?
No, even at TLC they didn't because we speculated that.
Rumble will headline, obviously.
Yeah.
With
men's or women's? Few others have said that I don't think the women are ready to main event the Rumble. I got pissed the year that the championship match came after the Rumble. Yeah. The Rumble is your fucking ending.
Yeah.
And I liked last year. The women were the curtain jerker.
Okay.
Why not?
I agree.
Not do it exactly the same? Or if you want to bookend it, flip, fine. I don't like it.
I think the men should. I'm a man. I think the men should be the main event.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Number 2.
And at this contest, it's too much of a tradition.
Number 2, can't see the man. Cena comes out with his new hair. Let me get my notes on this. This segment was fun. I really had fun with this one. He comes out with his full dad hair. Right?
Is that what you're gonna call it?
Oh yeah, he looks like JBL. That's looks like fucking JBL now. Yeah, full dad hair. He's got the cowlick and kicked up in the front. And Cena goes on this rant about what he's done this past year, and he's digging into himself a little bit. Mentioned my personal life's been all over the place, so that happened.
He's always been good at having like a little bit of self-humiliation.
Sure. So he's like, so as he's talking, like, well, why am I here? Why am I out here? I don't know, but let's give it a reason. Somebody back there is going to come tell me I'm old and I've lost a step and I should go away and I should cut my hair. Somebody's going to tell me to leave WWE faster than Nikki Bella left me. Great line. To himself, he threw that one out there. So
I wondered, though, like if he's sitting and he's sitting alone and he's hating life.
He doesn't.
He's like, hey, this will be fun. I'll just fuck it up. Maybe Nikki will acknowledge me if I do this.
I don't know if I'm overreading this, but John Cena does not look as motivated or as energetic as he once did. He looks like a kind of a depressed, like going through the motions kind of guy to me right now. Even in his speech, he's kind of like, I don't know, Bird. We can go if you like. And just kind of as if in his words. But so as we're waiting for oh shit. Oh no. Sorry, I'm distracted by something really bad right now. No.
Let me read the board real quick.
Yeah, read the board.
Mac Attack, John Cena Layfield, Christopher Stikelether says JCL, TV Poker. He says Cena looks like a real turd now.
This is Roderick Strong, and I approve this message.
Basically, he thinks he's just hating life. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, and he's porking ladies at will, so why not go back on TV to make sure he continue to do so? Berto is still being sour over here. He's saying that Rusev's promo was terrible. And then he said, why did AJ walk into the McMahon's room and said you wanted to see me, and then Vince didn't say anything? And everybody's asking why. Lana didn't help him. And Bang Bus says, because Lana's job is to just stand still and look hot.
Yeah, that's it right there. So anyway, so Becky comes out, surprise. Oh, it's Becky. It's not a guy, right?
Love that.
Yeah, I did too. I really did. And Becky basically says, I'm not just after the poster spots that Charlotte's taken up. I want yours too. I want the whole damn thing. And if you have a problem with that, then Nikki Bella won't be the only woman to drop you this year. Great fucking line.
And she backed it up in the mixed tag match to follow. She didn't want to come out when Andrade came in for Vega. She wanted to fight Andrade, and I worry that Andrade couldn't his lack of victories would be hurt if Becky kicked his ass.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Berto, what are you talking about? Stop just making blanket promos made no sense. In what ways?
He gave two examples. I just read them to you.
What were they?
That AJ walked into the office of McMahon and said, you wanted to see me, and then they didn't say anything.
Oh, that was a little bit of a cheesy segment. I'm not gonna. That little portion there was a little cheesy. The way AJ kept looking away like a pissed off ex-girlfriend. So anyway,
did they forget to cut? Like Kerwin in the truck fucked up.
Yeah, it was an awkward segment. I agree that one little segment. But if you're gonna judge,
you said Rusev shouldn't talk.
I enjoyed the Rusev promo. I really did.
I enjoyed your voice cracking when you just said that.
No, I did. He's so kind of dumb at what he's doing that it's cute. It's like, I'm so handsome and my beard is great too. And I would bring, you can see he's struggling for words. You can tell he's not being scripted right now.
I'm glad he's funny.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad he's not trying to be the Bulgarian brute.
Rusev is the example, or is, you can point to that and go, that tells you right there they're letting him not be so scripted. They're letting him have a little bit of freedom. Because Rusev, he's finding his feet right now when it comes to promos. I enjoyed that. And I don't think it was the same old stuff. I think you want to say it was the same old stuff. It wasn't. It wasn't the same old stuff. Rusev has never been like this. He was a little bit fun and with
Aiden.
With Aiden, sure. But he's got a lot more into it. It's like he's really fun right now. I don't know how else to put it. But it's different.
Rusev said bacon-flavored muffins. That's what Berto.
Oh, yeah. I smell like bacon-flavored muffins. It's great.
I think it's funny. Andrade is an elite talent, TP Poker says. Exactly. That's why I don't think he should have had to be forced in that situation where Becky would look better. If Becky does wrestle a man and goes over, whoever that man is, it's going to hurt too much.
Yeah.
It has to be someone established. If Becky had beat up Cena tonight, Cena's career would have not even a hiccup to it.
I think no. There's been plenty of times in the past where women have taken out a guy and it didn't destroy their career.
I'm talking about a guy that's got some victories. Andrade has not gotten anywhere. He's not. He's been in a mixed tag division for the last 2 months, it seems like.
Okay, here's the half full, because I hear you half empty. And same thing that I'm seeing on the board when it comes to CN. So, he took the pin, or he took the loss. There's squashing him. First off, since this kind of new turn into the new era, whatever they're saying, we didn't see him for several weeks, right? He had a great couple matches. Then he dis-a-fucking-peered forever.
He was featured against AJ and Daniel Bryan.
Right. But now we're seeing him get a lot of TV time. He did not take the pin tonight. And even if he did, think about the long-time history of professional wrestling. He's a villain. He's a heel. He's the one who's supposed to take the pin.
Well, most people don't also realize what he did on NXT. He lost for a long time.
That's
and then
fine.
he was the champ.
But he's getting they're creating a name ID for him. They're giving him something.
I still worry about, and I lump Andrade and with Elias. It's weird. Almas and Elias. Same thing. Give them a feud. Give them a true feud, not these one-offs. I want to see some storyline go into them. I don't want to see it take 2 years before they give Apollo Crews one night of storyline. I don't want to wait 2 years before Almas gets that treatment. I want to see it now. It doesn't have to be a pay-per-view feud. It can be we're having a house show battle.
Well, I mean, on Monday they've started up the flames of a Baron Corbin Elias feud. I actually really like that pairing.
That's fine. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
As much as I hate Baron, I like Elias to finally be in a feud because he was in a feud with Bobby Lashley that was for a guitar. His pay-per-view debut was, in a singles match, was for a guitar on a
right. So emotional connection to a character is what we need, right? You need to establish that. And for me,
beyond the featured in-rope spots.
For me, you turn Elias' face so quickly and put him against Bobby in kind of a what the fuck ever kind of situation. But now you put Elias against the most hated person, kayfabe or not, on the roster in Baron Corbin, and it creates an emotional connection with Elias that now we can root for him as a face to defeat this evil, stupid villain that Baron is.
Exactly.
So yeah. Look, I just to me, CN. If you want to make this topic about CN, which I think maybe that could be the more relevant point of the entire this whole segment, CN.
Becky's hot as fuck, and he was featured with her. Say what you want.
Right, and we don't mean hot as in sexy. She's white hot fucking as far as
she could take a piss in the middle of the ring, and I don't think she'd lose any fans right now.
Right.
I hate to say it that way, but that's how money she is.
Right. So that's basically it. CN did not take the pin. Vega took it, and she's the toady.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what Vega would do. Our final topic here, I'm pulling it up right now on my phone.
Number 3.
We're going to talk about who has already announced that they're going to be in the Rumble. Of course, we know that Daniel Bryan's going to fight AJ Styles. Brock Lesnar is going to fight Braun Strowman. They're also doing a fatal four-way for 205 Live. I don't know if you know that. Buddy Murphy, Kalisto, Akira, Tozawa, and a fourth to be named. But let's run down who has entered R-Truth, and, of course, Carmella both getting number 30. Drew McIntyre, he declared on the Christmas Eve edition. He was the first person other than R-Truth to declare. And then New Day tonight, so we got those. On the women's side, Carmella winning number 30. But last night, Ember Moon, Natalya, Sasha, Bayley, Ruby, Liv, and Sarah Logan all announced. So you've got 8 women already in and 5 men. So we're starting to build.
Yeah.
Any of these names going to win? I'll read them again. Drew McIntyre, R-Truth, Big E, Kofi, Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
I think Drew, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we got Carmella, Ember, Natalya, Sasha, Bayley, Ruby, Liv, Sarah Logan.
My picks right now is going to be Becky and Drew. As of right now, Becky and Drew.
I think Becky has to win because that's how she gets to Ronda.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So anyway.
Okay.
But that's what we got.
So Berto here. Rob did say that one episode of Raw was good, and then it was the worst received Raw of all time. That's not true. So why should I take his word that promos were good? LOL, his credibility is gone. Okay, first off, if I ever had any credibility, thank you for whoever gave it to me. Just want to put that out there.
I just want to kayfabe break a little bit. Rob was trying very hard to be positive. We had been negative. I'm just telling you guys this because you're not going to hear it if you check the tape. He was trying to be glass half full, find some silver linings in the playbook, and do his best with positivity. If you really know Rob and listen to the show, you can hear how forced it is in his voice. I didn't call him out on it at the time, but off air he said, I'm going to try and make an effort not to be the angry elf. And that night, it just happened to be one of the worst episodes of Raw.
Right.
And check the tape, Rob tried. He tried to say it was good and find some good things to comment about it because he didn't want to shit all over it. You don't know that, but that's what happened off air right before we went on air.
Right. So that's true. But I think he's saying that the last episode of Raw was the worst ever received. If that's what he means, that's not true.
No, he's talking about the one that McMahon changed all the bookings because George W. Bush died.
Oh, yeah.
That's the episode he's talking about.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
You're not a good actor. No, thankfully, we don't face the camera so nobody could see in your eyes how you were trying.
Look, I'm sorry. Since the announcement of this new era, we haven't seen big changes, but you can't just jump in the pool. You got to learn how to doggy paddle first, right? Well, we have seen small subtleties in both programs, and honestly, I enjoyed Raw New Year's Eve. I watched it today. I enjoyed it. I thought that it had a good flow, good ebb and flow to it. Nothing went too long. Nothing was too outlandish. You had some good matches. You had some botches.
It's like the Naked Man. It gives you just what you need when you need it.
Tonight's SmackDown. I really enjoyed tonight's SmackDown. I did.
It's a How I Met Your Mother reference.
Yeah.
You don't get it, Rob. Because you refuse to watch that great show.
Yeah.
Stike says Seth and Becky, Rollins and Natty for Captain Obvious. And you got to build up Natty's resume, he says. I like this thought from Mac Attack. They should make Almas the workhorse in the Rumble. That could give him the jump start he needs for 2019. I'd be okay with that, Mac Attack, because right now I love Mustafa Ali's position here, but he just showed up, and he's already doing a hell of a lot better than Andrade in terms of that. I know it's a heel face thing, but Ali debuted and pinned the champ on his second week.
We need heroes right now.
I need a hero.
I mean, really, we do. We need heroes right now. We have a lot of really good villains. Yeah. And a lot of guys who should be villains, it would be like Bobby Roode would be great villains.
Remember my hypothetical? Make everybody a villain. Then what the fuck? One face.
But we don't have that many heroes, and Mustafa Ali is a fun hero to root for.
Especially, it's weird. He's the good guy that comes out dressed like a villain, Sub-Zero style.
Right.
That's just weird to me. Hey, we got new awards.
We're going to give you what you want. Something new, something fresh. In the coming weeks and months, you will be seeing new...
Recorded live from the White Table Studios, it's the Smarky Awards.
So board, play at home. We're going to run the full gambit of awards tonight. We'll pick and choose as we move forward, but we're going to do them all so that you guys can understand them. It's the Smarkies. That means we're smarks, and you got to use the terms. What?
Nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
What are you laughing at me?
We're smarks.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
So here's the awards. The push, for those of you that aren't smarks. That is when you get a fan gain. The burial, you lose some fans. The payoff, best story. Botch, you better know what a botch is if you're listening to us.
Yeah.
The rub, it's a push by association, Kiera. She's not here. Shoot, obviously best promo and worker. That's going to be our in-ring MVP. Push, burial, payoff, botch, rub, shoot, worker. Start us off with the push.
For me, and I'm going for the last two nights. I'm going to go Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, I think you have to give Apollo the biggest push here. I mean, 8 eliminations in a Rumble or in a Battle Royal, and then an IC title shot. He didn't get it. He didn't win. The match wasn't the greatest match in the world, but he was highlighted, and he got a lot of time. Apollo.
I don't disagree with you, but I would have rather seen him cherish that 8-man elimination win for a week. Ride it high on Twitter. I'm coming for you, Dean. Get out on social media. Pump that match up.
I completely agree.
Instead, you gave him that, and you took it away almost as quickly as you gave it to him. But it was still a great point, Rob, so guess what? You get this.
Hey, Stike Leather real quick on the board. Do you think since they promoted Ali to SmackDown, they will do the same for Alexander on Raw? I don't think Alexander has the charisma that they want him to have.
Yeah, and I hate to play the race card. They got black people. They don't have anybody of Mustafa Ali's caliber to push. I know Jinder Mahal was a failure, but
all right, so you say like affirmative action is why
I'm saying
there?
If they're going to continue to go over to the desert, Mustafa Ali is.
I disagree with you. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I'm just wondering. We need to plant our flag at every nation of the rainbow.
Oh sure, no, I get that, but I go ahead.
All right, my push. It's Becky, man, hands fucking down. She walked out and took down. She took down John Cena tonight in a promo, and then outshined him in the whole match.
You really? So you think that's a push? You think it's a push though? Wasn't she already there?
Oh, I think she got even more fan gain, and that's the definition of it. Since we're doing a little play on it,
I mean, she did can't see me to him at the end, so that was kind of.
And he did his come on, who's gonna come out? And she comes out right there. I mean, you got to think she won 10 more. Yeah. I mean, she keeps going up.
My head popped up like I was a dog and my owner pulled in a driveway.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah. So. On the board, the push. Bangbus says the club. I guess he's talking about the TV show on the network. If he's talking about that, sure, you get a coin. If he's not, I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Push goes to Apollo. Stike agreeing with you. Daniel Bryan, Captain Obvious. That doesn't work. Daniel Bryan's the champ.
Yeah.
How's he getting a bigger push?
I don't get that one.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't do it. And next up,
I like Murphy too, Maggie Tag. I do too. But I like where Murphy's at.
Burial. I'm gonna go with Andrade Cien Almas. The opposite of a push is the burial. He did not take the pin tonight. He did not get beat up by Becky, but he's again in a featured spot of a mixed tag match to lose. I know what you're saying.
He's
Rob,
in a featured spot on a mixed tag match against fucking John Cena.
Okay, take Becky out of the equation. Then you don't have to put Vega in the match. She can be a valet. If he just straight up lost to John Cena and took the pin, I'd be fine with that. But that's not the case because he took what he didn't. And so that's just going to be different. You can't say that Cena is not going to win when he's facing Andrade Cien Almas, but to make the mixed tag match of Cena and Becky, it's just too obvious. Andrade didn't have a chance. I like the villain losing. I'm not saying he has to win, but have him lose to a 16-time champion, not in an intergender battle.
I think that you're being fucking picky right now.
I am, because it was a good episode. We get really nitpicky when it's a good episode.
I think that nothing but good things came out of CN tonight.
Okay. I think that's fair. I mean,
okay.
Payoff.
My burial.
Oh, sorry. What's your burial?
My burial will be the death of the pancakes tonight. Apparently, New Day announcing that the doctors say that they can no longer eat pancakes anymore. So, yeah, that was sad.
So the doctors are the ones who buried him.
Yeah, the doctors buried him.
Yeah, you suck, doctors.
But I want to know if that pancake that Big E pulled out of his diaper and threw to the fan, if that fan ate it.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Burial, the revival. That's from Bang Bus. Dolph Ziggler for Stike. Man, Dolph got his ass whooped. I don't mind that.
Yo, beat down, bro.
Yeah.
That's not is that a burial, though? I mean, is it burying his character? Was there anywhere really down for him to go?
I don't think it was a burial. It was a squash. There's a difference. Like, the match was a squash match. He got his ass kicked. I agree with you, Rob.
I know.
Burial,
I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
He's fucked up his character enough that, no, it did not hurt him in any way.
I think you're his job in that match was to put over
Drew
and put him over hard. And he did. He absolutely did.
Okay. Corbin for Berto because Stike took Ziggler, so he picks Corbin as his burial. Heel Daniel Bryan, I'm looking at gimmick and not titles. Sure, he's got the title, but I'm invested in his gimmick, is what Captain Obvious says. Still, I think you can't say that the champ gets a push.
Yeah.
They're the fucking king of the mountain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still love you, Captain Obvious, but that's what you get, and it's followed by this. Take him out back.
Yeah.
Payoff. Best story. I know Seth and Hunter ripped it off a week later, but I like AJ and Vince. I think this is a really good pairing. I'm really interested to see where this goes. And, Rob, you talked about what does AJ do after Daniel Bryan because we don't think he's going to win at Rumble. He does whatever Vince wants him to do.
What do you mean by that?
I think Vince and AJ are going to be like Heyman and Brock for a brief period. A brief period.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm not like he escorts him out to the ring, but he's going to be backstage going, this is what you need to do. This is how you're going to
like Stockholm syndrome type thing, just
something.
Vince kind of manipulates him into.
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay.
Vince lets him smack him around a little bit. He's really the one in control. I think they could play this and make it be fun just because of all the beyond kayfabe that goes along with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a guaranteed hit.
Okay.
Captain obviously agrees with me. He says payoff AJ and Vince. What's your payoff, Rob?
My payoff is not. I kind of thought you'd say Vince and AJ, so I stayed away from that one. This is not a huge storyline.
What's that? I brought my AJ hat.
Oh, yeah. It's not a huge storyline, but I really kind of dig it. It's the Naomi Mandy Rose storyline. I'm enjoying this tonight with the picture of here's what I sent to your husband. I think it's a fun little storyline that's going on. I like it.
They got to be careful though. The Aiden Rusev story was 2 months ago. The whole fucking roster is married to each other, and we all know it. They got to be careful when they do these storylines and make sure that they're different. Right now, it's a little bit too much like the one they just did. Is my only argument.
Which one?
The whole cell phone and picture thing with Aiden and Lana when he was trying to say, "Look, Rusev, look at what I have," and only revealed the video slowly. She's sending pictures, supposedly nudes, to Naomi's husband. It's.
But you're making this. See, when you do it. You're making the story about the men, and the story is not about the men.
This time.
Well,
and that's what I'm saying.
Point.
I hope they continue that way so it doesn't go that way.
Right.
Yeah, he's the prop.
Right. This is about the women.
Yes. Yeah.
I like it.
I hope it continues that way.
Okay.
I'm. Payoff's a big word right now, but you're right. It does work.
Yeah.
Anybody on the board? More payoffs?
Bang Bus says heel DIY. Yeah, I am totally fucking confused by that.
It's intriguing. It's conversation starter.
The circle that they went to get to there is like, is it too soon? And if it's not too soon, was it planned out?
And he put the idea in his head. There's another title. You should go get it. The North American title. Isn't this what we always dreamed for? When Ciampa said that, I'm like, wait. Has this been the work all along?
Yeah, as we thought that Undisputed was going to have all the gold in 2019, is DIY going to have all the gold in 2019?
Is this a long con game? And by the way, I'm not opposed to Ricochet and Johnny Gargano having a feud.
No.
So
yeah,
if this is what we have to get, it is.
Answer it.
It's JD.
What do you want,
man?
You
know it's JD. Who else?
Happy New Year's, fellas.
Happy New Year, JD.
Happy New Year, jackass.
I just want to say, man, even though I don't watch WWE anymore, I still fucking love y'all.
We love you too, you annoying bastard.
Yes.
Yeah. And I fucking love y'all. You know what? What happened on SmackDown tonight? Because I didn't check it out.
Listen to the fucking show.
Or just, shut up and listen to us.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye, JD. Happy New Year.
You're fired.
Get the hell out of here.
Anyway, would you please?
Even Kira's going to get on your ass for that one.
Yeah.
So next up is the botch. Again, when we have a good episode, I'm going to be nitpicky. I don't think anyone else is going to get my botch. My botch is Paige. Paige, I know she's out promoting the movie.
Yeah.
But Paige did a good job as GM, and suddenly she's off TV. Baron sucked out loud, and he's still getting featured spots.
But they're using him as a scapegoat, too, by the way.
Right.
They're saying, oh, the ratings were bad because of him. Like, they've said those words. Like,
Even though Stephanie was in charge. I love it. I love it. But we can't have Paige, who I thought was doing a good job. I don't know. So that's my botch to be picky. What's yours, Rob?
My botch is the Fresh Start Battle Royal. and it was not that they had it. It was that, one, why are there tag teams in the Fresh Start Battle Royal for the top opportunity IC belt? Why do you do that to us, WWE? You got enough individual talent. You could have put individual wrestlers in it.
And then Apollo eliminates half of them.
Right. and I was okay with that part. But
don't worry, I'm on the ready.
My problem with it was there were some moments, a lot of telegraph moments, where you saw things coming.
That's my knock on Apollo in general, like that he foreshadows too.
He's not
obvious.
as smooth as you'd like him to be. But yeah,
he turns and just waits for you,
like you with from your mic, right?
Yeah.
Good job, Medine. But yeah, the tag teams and that it was little botches here and there. Go ahead.
On the board, botch Dillinger for Captain Obvious. Botch for Bang Bus. Mandy had a towel on in that picture they showed. I like that botch. That's a good one. Yeah. And then next up, last three, rub, shoot, worker. My rub, hands down. I want to go by association, Mustafa Ali. Let's just put him in a featured spot right away. 3 weeks in a row. He's pinned the champ. He's in a number one contenders match this week. Man, there's nowhere to go right now for this guy but down the way they're skyrocketing him.
Yeah, I'm really curious. And I'm echoing you. I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the end game is with him in this particular program, in this story arc.
Like, is he going to win the Rumble? I mean, what the fuck?
Right.
I mean,
is he going to main event
dark
Mania?
Horse out of here, right?
Yeah. What's the ceiling for Mustafa Ali? What's the goal here? So,
and by the way, again, we're not against any of it.
Yeah,
we're just curious.
Botch on the board. Fake crowd noise. I didn't catch a part. Maybe I just didn't notice. I don't pay attention.
With 2 taped episodes, I wouldn't be surprised. That's
sure.
from Mac Attack. Stykes says botch. Bobby Trashley. He just looks awful in the way they are presenting him. He should be destroying people, not flexing.
Yeah, they shouldn't have put him with Seth.
Yeah.
And they're trying to play him like the corporate monster, like a attack dog, which is traditionally
my man.
Yeah, it gets beat. Bobby Lashley should be. He should be running over people right now.
They're saying Drew got the rub. I mean, yeah, he beat the shit out of Dolph, but that wasn't for anything. It's not like he got the number one contender. So I don't know, and yeah, I don't know. It's still Mustafa Ali to me.
It's the botch for Alex Carter. The fact that it's a new era, we still get rematches between Rude and Gable versus the Revival. Hey,
this is blow off time.
Yeah,
they've got to finish what they had booked.
Yeah,
they've got to run the course of some things.
They booked further than one night.
Right. I think after Rumble was when Rob said this at the top of the show. There's subtle changes happening, and I think come end of Rumble, we're gonna see some major swings on the road to WrestleMania.
I agree.
So I'm still optimistic for all of that. Shoot, we didn't mention him at all, so that's why I gave him my shoot award. Shelton Benjamin backstage shitting all over New Year's Eve and everything.
Yeah, man, went straight fucking heel.
I mean,
right?
That's a shoot.
Yeah,
and he definitely was off script the way he was ranting, but
I mean, he was what is it based? I'm trying to remember how he said it, but New Year's resolutions are stupid because people, all you people, you don't change, you don't do anything different, and just tears it off. It's all fake and tears it apart. I mean,
he sounded like the proverbial
angry elf.
Just doing it. I was all for it, and Shelton Benjamin's talented. He looked like himself, and then they took him back off TV. So I'm glad to see him getting on there. What's yours, Rob?
Mine is going to be an echo of Captain Obvious, Alex Carter. I think Becky. I'm gonna just uninstall the program, JD. So you're not gonna answer. I think Becky and
we
Cena.
answer once and it's like enabling.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna answer it again, just so you can keep trying. But I'm just gonna uninstall it. Becky and Cena, to me, the best promo.
Yeah, that's what Captain Obvious says. Yeah. Same thing. Ty Dillinger trashing Nia on Twitter is Mac Attack's best shoot.
JD says he's not calling.
JD's not the one calling? Oh, well, whoever it is, if it's not JD, we'll answer it.
Yeah.
Shelton, Stike agreeing with me. Final one, Worker, in-ring MVP. The main event tonight, I guess just because it was fresh in my mind, but I thought Samoa Joe once again looked really, really good. You know, Randy and Ray, you know exactly what you're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Andrade and Ali Ali and AJ were typical what you expect there, but Joe just to me stood out.
Yeah. Who
is on the line? The Y Table fan line. Hello.
Rubs. I got a huge rub.
Motherfucker, man.
Told you it was JD.
Motherfucker.
I don't know why you thought it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got to block. You can block his number.
I'm gonna get another computer in here. I'm gonna put the phone line on that computer. Just completely uninstall it from there. That way that it cannot get through the soundboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That way he can't be a jackass.
Yeah.
Like he always is.
Yep.
Worker Buddy Murphy for Bang Bus. Rollins for Captain Obvious.
Rollins,
Buddy Murphy is always
I'm
gold.
Souring on Rollins, man.
I know you are, and I can't figure it out. Check the tape. You used to be high on him.
I just as I watch him more and more, he bores me more and more. Both in his character, in his promos, and in his in-ring moveset. He's actually gotten slow to me. His matches bore me.
Turned into Dean.
They bore me.
Got infected.
Yeah.
That random interlude from Rob is brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/markedoutwrestling. Support us. Give us $1. We don't care. Give us anything.
You can do a one-time, but we also have the 3 tiers. We have the You're Awesome tier, $5 a month. You sign up for that automatically. You have the Fruity Pebbles tier. I think that's $10 a month. Maybe those are backwards. And then we got the what's the last one?
I don't remember.
The Marking Out Award. Marking Out tier was $20 a month. So if you listen to us, what we do takes our personal time and takes a lot of my money. So you have no idea how much money I put into this craft. If you enjoy it, we ask you to help us. There you go.
Yeah, Stike agrees with me on Joe. He's just piggybacking my points tonight, Stike. Let's see. I want you guys to think about this as I read this out loud. It's not a kayfabe break or anything like that.
I bet you that motherfucker has us saved in his phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to read you guys a little criticism we got on iTunes.
Oh wait, can I do my worker?
Oh yeah, what's your worker?
Did you do your worker?
I did mine. Mine was Joe.
My worker. I wanted to go outside the box again. I thought Naomi looked strong. I gave it to Naomi.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little iTunes review. Break kayfabe. Honestly, guys, constructive criticism. Rob's got thick skin. I've got thick skin. I can sit here and tell him he's a motherfucker and then turn off the mics and we're fine.
Yeah.
So we can take it. And we like the reviews.
And we've gotten some pretty nasty feedback before.
But what we really like and what we want to acknowledge is the ones that are truly, truly fans of ours that give some real good detail and insight. And that's what this person This person did.
Reviews on iTunes!
So that's how you do it. iTunes. Here is the review we got on said iTunes. It was from somebody named Chief Keef. Says, I don't know if my username lets you know who I am, but I'll let you know if I tune in for a live show. I started listening in August 2016, and from then on, I couldn't miss the live show because of their awesome fan interaction. When he says us, he's talking about us. However, somewhere around 2017, we began to lose our passion, and thus their podcast began feeling forced and like a chore. Rob and Adam separately are great hosts. Medine, when he cares, adds good points. Steve and Kiera were great as well, even though they were quiet most times. Kevin came out of nowhere, and he's fine, I guess. Ryan could be good if he didn't stutter and mumble his sentences. The fights and arguments used to be funny at first, but now they fight every show. It's really annoying. Rob has turned into a real-life angry elf. He always loses his train of thought, which makes no sense. Write it down so you don't forget. Adam is the reason Rob loses his mind, but after 2 years of doing this show, you would think they would know when to let the other speak. If I could give some advice, go back to one host between Adam and Rob and join back for pay-per-view, or just stop fighting. Fan interaction was the reason I started listening, but half the time now whenever anyone mentions the board, Rob is always getting mad. Either ignore us completely or have certain times when you read the comments you find interesting, not in between your thoughts. Because Rob sometimes has great points, It's annoying that Adam comes in with some random useless comment. Also, do something about your YouTube page. It's really difficult to navigate your channel when you use the same thumbnail for Raw and SmackDown with a picture of Vince McMahon and different title formatting. If you want to grow, especially, you need to face that. As an avid YouTube watcher, I'd much rather click a video with a thumbnail that looks like it was from that episode rather than an old picture of Vince. Anyway, thanks for your time, because I know you still put in work and hope to enjoy your future podcasts.
And in fairness, he gave us a 5-star rating.
Yep.
You know, so and look, everything.
And he's right. I'm interrupting you right now.
Yeah, you are. You did. Let's just drop the fourth wall here. Like, you know, let's talk about our podcast and you. It's our listeners and our fans, and we'll get back to wrestling in just a minute. We're gonna do some dirt sheets here in a minute and talk about the All Elite, because I know we both want to say a couple things about it. You know, but let's talk about our podcast as we're approaching our 3-year anniversary. Look, we started doing this, and the first year was a blast, right? We were coming up with new ideas. I was getting back into my audio editing. It was exciting for me. We were meeting new people and building new relationships
all over the world.
Yeah, but with Brian here in studio, and you know, it was fresh and it was new. And like anything fresh and new, you're going to commit to it 100%. And the first year, we were all fucking in. You know, Steve was in here day after day after day doing fucking different promotions for the podcast and putting it on all these different platforms.
All those thumbnails back then were Steve changing them.
Right. And so, you know, as the year turned into the second year, well, I started working a day job. It took me out of all the freedoms I had before. So the last year, I've been working my ass off. You've been working your ass off.
I had 2 kids.
You had
since the podcast started.
You had 2 kids since the podcast started, so you just got your new one. So you've been you know, Steve's really not working with the podcast that much anymore, so we don't have that. Brian, I think, has improved as far as the mumbles on that. I'm not making excuses here. I want you to know our journey.
Oh, yeah, we're flat out facing it.
Yeah, I want you to know our journey. That the past year we slacked on a lot of shit, and I know that. And I take full
YouTube
blame.
chopping off our legs really hurt our motivation, and it didn't help that the product suffered too.
Right, the little bit of money we were making off of YouTube, and then once they kind of cut that off with all the new rules, now we're making 0. Right,
and they also remember, you know, our suspension.
Right,
that's part of what I'm talking about.
We were making a good stride, and then we got suspended for the 90 days for some bullshit.
Yeah, we had in 3 months gotten 100 extra subscribers. We were really firing on all cylinders. Then we had to go to our sister channel for 6 months.
And as far as like, okay, let's go to the points here. Fan interaction. Yeah, there are times that I've been like, you know, fucking stop talking to the board. Talk to me. Mm-hmm. Why? You guys are – we made it a point when we started this that we wanted to have interaction with the live audience, right? That you are one of the biggest elements of our show. But we've experimented with different directions. And first and foremost, this is a wrestling podcast for us to talk to each other. Right? So, yeah, sometimes I'm like, hey, motherfucker, get to me. You know, go over here. I do all the hard work to do this podcast. I want to talk.
And also, we don't have a crew where we have somebody that just feeds us your gold. We have to sift through all of it. It's kind of tough to stay on track with me listening to Rob's points while also reading yours.
Right. You know, fights and arguments. Yeah, you know what? Here, this podcast is a married couple. It's a marriage. You go into a marriage fresh and new after the wedding, your fucking honeymoon, you're loving life, you're so into each other, hug, kiss, kiss everywhere you go, holding hands, and then 7-year itch comes and you're like, you know, I can't stand you. You're always fucking in my face, and then that phase ends and you're like, I need to get back to this thing. I need to invest some more into this. It's something I love to do. Well, that's where we're at.
Well, and also the commitment. Remember all of this, and I don't want to seem like we're begging for money or whatever, but we don't make anything. So this is a true labor of love. And when you have love, there is naturally to be some stress and stuff. We're putting a lot of time in. We haven't been getting what we wanted out of it, which is partially because we haven't put the same into it. And I'm not giving excuses, but part of it is it did feel like a chore because every week the only reason we were getting together was to talk to our YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch chat boards, and to hang out here in studio with each other, because Raw was a damn dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, I don't want to speak for Medine, but that's why he's not coming around. It's the same old stuff. What's he going to make? The same old points every single week?
Yeah.
You know, Kiera stopped friggin' watching it for a while. I think, you know, it wasn't just that she wasn't on the podcast. Yeah, she watches Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
You know, she marked the hell out. Bianca Belair is the new #1 contender. but she didn't even see Raw or SmackDown.
No.
I mean, so everybody's getting their wrestling fix somewhere. And with that said, I think we're done with this. I can segue.
JD, stop flooding the board, man.
Yeah, so I'll segue to this. So we're talking about finding your fix, Rob. There's somewhere we can find your wrestling fix if it's not WWE.
Hey, you pull it down. We'll do the dirt sheet. I will just say this kind of to close that out. I'm sorry, I got lost for a minute. To close out the last little segment we talked about, we're owning all that stuff, and we're making changes actively right now to like we said, redo our brand.
We're pulling a McMahon. We'll do better.
Right.
Who's our scapegoat? Who's our Baron Corbin? Oh, our scapegoat is going to be Kevin because he's no longer on the show. Another self-inflicted host suicide in terms of the on-air. No, but seriously, he might be back to us. Kevin took an employment opportunity in his full-time job that is taking him out of town. So
L.A. Moving to L.A.
So he will not be in studio anymore, but he will be in L.A. So he can audition for Bang Bus out there if he gets hard up for money.
Or maybe he could go sleep on Juan's couch.
Or maybe he can get us a sponsorship deal with his new employer, Mattel.
Oh, right.
He's working specifically in the Hot Wheels division.
Good for him.
I want a MOWP van, Hot Wheels edition. I want him to get me one of those.
Okay.
There you go, Kevin. That's your severance. It's not really severance because you have to pay it back to us.
Yeah.
But you didn't make anything, so that's why you have to give us
I think
severance.
that Juan, Berto, and Kevin can all have a little, orgy.
Estrada's out there, too.
Estrada, yeah.
Estrada's in L.A., I
Is
think,
Berto
too.
there? Okay, I thought it was Berto. It's Estrada.
I don't know. You just put all the Mexicans out there.
They're probably not all. Okay, go ahead. Just
You're so racist, Rob.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, Dirt Sheet. What is it called?
All Elite Wrestling.
All Elite.
Yeah.
All Elite Wrestling.
So that we saw that we've been seeing the countdowns on the Twitters for
The Bucks have been plugging it crazy.
Yeah, and it all led to if you haven't seen the video yet, where they're all kind of coming from their individual places out to the front of the Tokyo Dome, and they announced the
Double or Nothing
pay-per-view or event. I
love
should say.
the poker innuendos or entendres, excuse me.
I do too. Double or Nothing event, and more specific, and bigger news is that the All Elite Wrestling promotion, the birth of it, which I believe is being funded by the Jaguars.
I don't know why you said it like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, the Blake Bortles employers are now funding the Elite. And I don't know if you also, by the way, on Twitter, while we're on the topic, a lot of the Marty Scurll, Adam Cole, partying New Year's all over Twitter together. Britt Baker, who's out there as one of them, she's close, like iconic close with Chelsea Green, who's Zack Ryder's girlfriend. So they were all partying together all over Twitter for New Year's. I mean, it feels weird because you're partying with the enemy. I mean, could you see contracts like Knox expiring and he goes to this,
are you
All Elite Wrestling?
Are you partying with the enemy? Are you really?
No, because they all know each other.
I mean, it's like saying if somebody who works at Coke can't go have a beer and hang out, their best friend can't work at Pepsi.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
if you work at for Good Humor Ice Cream and I go and work for Blue Bunny Ice Cream, I think our relationship would be just fine.
Yeah, I would probably, yeah.
So here's the thing. This is getting a lot of buzz, and I don't feel the buzz. And
if they get a TV deal.
Well, it's a two-step process, right, for me to actually care. Not saying I won't watch the promotion, see what's going on. TV deal is number one. When you get a TV deal, then we'll talk. But wait a second. Other people have TV deals. Impact has a TV deal.
Ring of Honor has a TV deal. They're on the Charge Network.
Right. So it's got to be a relevant TV deal.
Right.
It's got to be a primetime spot on a major channel. And the other thing is, first, I have to see a defection before I really take it seriously. If I see a major defection, not a Ryback, not a Austin Aries.
I think Shinsuke Nakamura. The reason that they're not treating his characters because I think he's said I'm not re-signing, and I think that's what they're doing with his character. And if they were to get a Johnny Nitro, a Shinsuke Nakamura, and I don't know, throw one other guy in that's of that caliber.
No, I don't think Shinsuke is not the level of defection that would do it for me, because Shinsuke is somebody that we've already had in our minds.
But he would bring some of the NJPW people over
again
because he's such a legend over there.
That's wonderful for Brian, right? That's
for the Bryans of the world.
For the Bryans of the world, that's wonderful for them. But for the more WWE type fan like I am, it doesn't do anything until I see if Daniel Bryan goes over there. That's huge.
Can we talk about how you said you're not a buzz about it, but your shirt literally says Buzz? I just thought that's funny.
Stupid things Adam thought of is brought to you
podcast people.
It's brought to you by markedoutgear.com.
Isn't there a promo code that you forgot to tell us about?
No, I actually said it. You weren't paying attention. Smart Mark
Check
Show.
the tape.
Promo code Smart Mark Show saves you 10% on your full order. Again, we're just opening our inventory, so still. Also, but if you're looking for some other inventory, other things to wear, you can still go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code marked out, all one word, in caps. Get 10% off on your full order there as well.
And if you see a dork walking around L.A. in marked out gear, say hi to him. It's probably Kevin.
Probably is.
Real quickly, I want to tease our little Rumble as we get going on the road to the Royal Rumble. We're going to each week pick our winners for each. As I said, if I have to pick today, I'm going Drew and Becky. Rob, who's your picks?
I said Drew and Becky.
Okay, so we're aligned.
Yeah.
And also, guys, the tattoo challenge. We plan to pick the numbers this week, but we're going to do it next week instead.
I hope I draw 30.
Yeah, we are going to pick the numbers of our entrant. Should our entrant win, we have to get a tattoo of them. Is how our challenge works. If any of our fans want to participate with us, let us know. Send us an email this week, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com, and we will draw your number on Monday Night Rawsome on air with our numbers and assign them to you. And that way you can send us a picture of your tattoo if you want to participate.
Should we do like two drawings, one drawing for your number and the other drawing it's a 50-50 on whether it's the men or the women? Or just
so you get one number for both? So if I pick 18, I'm 18 for the women and the men?
No, you pick 18 and then you take the second drawing and it's going to be 50-50. Either you pick men or women. So if you pick women, you get 18 women. Or you pick 18 men. Or we just do the men and say don't do the
I don't even care. I don't want a woman's tattoo. You talked me into doing the women last year. I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
And I don't want to do it again. Anyway, not going to work here anymore. So what do we got next? I guess it's final thoughts.
I guess that's it.
And then, again, fans, stay tuned for our dark match after the credits roll. We're going to talk about some non-wrestling stuff, just things that you might like. Captain Obvious is checking out before final thoughts. I guess his final thought is bye. JD just is in insanity land over there.
It's fucking flooding the board, man.
Everybody else, try to put in your final thoughts there. Final thought for Stike. He says, see you guys later. Happy New Year's. Just again to everyone. Bangbus thinks that Ono would make an impact on AEW going over there.
Maybe. It wouldn't be a defection that impacts me, though.
No, yeah. He's 2 failed stints in NXT as far as I'm concerned if he were to leave now.
He does the job.
My final thought, I know Berto's angry and upset and all of that, and I agree. I just agree that I see his point is valid. But how can you not in the last couple weeks at least trust that the McMahons are being true to us at their face value? They may be slowly building to some things. They may be letting other things ride out as they get new things on the books and sow those seeds for those plants. At the end of the day, I've been kicked and beaten so much in the last 6 months by WWE that any light at the end of the tunnel is optimism for me, because I don't want to leave a podcast and I don't want to continue based on the way this fan who's 100% feels like a chore. It did feel like a chore. Now I would go on for 2 more hours, Rob. If I thought anyone would listen to us for 4 hours, I could continue to talk about all these hypotheses and places they could go. I'm intrigued again. I'm invested again.
Yeah.
I don't see what's on the horizon.
It feels different.
Just one little thing that we talked about a lot tonight, the no rematch clause. Just that alone means I don't know what the fuck's to come.
It's a huge fucking change.
big time.
Yeah.
And if they're at least acknowledging that we may not need to reinvent the wheel, but we can give it better gas mileage. If that's the kind of analogy I'm going with here.
It was shitty, but I get your point.
Yeah. For now, I medined it. For now, I am accepting it at face value, and I'm optimistic for the future. And I'm going to continue to be, and not be the glass full that Berto is still a. You asked me a month ago, I'm right there side by side in the trenches, locked with Berto.
I am too.
Now I'm different. Final thought, Rob.
I guess it's kind of an echo on you. You know, just guys, you gotta take in perspective where we've been and where we're going. Right? We hit bottom. In my opinion, we hit bottom with Raw, and it has been noticeably different, noticeably better. It has been watchable. It has been mildly entertaining, and I do believe that this is a crawl, then walk, then run type scenario where they have to put all the pieces in place. They have to transition out the old, bring in the new. That goes for writers and producers and creators and management and storylines.
They got to do
talent.
like Tim Robbins and Shawshank.
Yeah, they are gonna. I think they're gonna completely remold this company, and I mean all the way down to maybe a new looking belt. I don't know. To me, you guys need to be patient. Enjoy the changes that we're getting subtly and little by little. Enjoy those, savor those, and then watch the product slowly start to change for the future. I'm optimistic because I already see changes.
And again, if you want to be nitpicky like Berto and find those flaws, I agreed with your flaws, Berto, but you said all of them were bad, and that's simply not true. And so that's why I normally you and I see eye to eye. I can still see some shit, but like Rob said, it's not like you're going to fix it overnight.
Right.
It's going to take time, I'm going to allow that time to play. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going in 2019. But if they hadn't said this, who knows? Maybe by SummerSlam we'd be shutting it down. Have nothing to do with us or anything, just like I can't watch this anymore. Or maybe we go, fuck Monday, fuck Tuesday. We're now covering Wednesday only, and it's only NXT. You know, I don't know where we would have evolved to.
No.
But I think that they were getting closer to, pulling the Fox deal the way it was going.
I think there was probably something there. But here we go. Final thought. Once again, we're very excited to announce the opening of markedoutgear.com. Again, just launched it, so it's still new. We're still learning how to do it. The inventory is still, fairly small, but there's some inventory in there. So bear with us, but go on there, check it out. If you like a shirt, buy a shirt. Promo code SmartMarkShow there, markedoutgear.com. If you're a professional wrestler, and I'm talking down to the smallest promotion up to NJPW, I don't care, whatever, we would like to help you sell your shirts.
And not just that, we would like to help you promote yourself. I mean, we tried to do a live event that quite honestly was a dumpster fire from a fan participation standpoint, but we had 4, talented wrestlers that are working in the Southeast, sometimes all over the U.S., but they're mainly based down here. Let us expose you. Brian had some call-ins back when he was trying to do the Thursday show. Yeah. But anybody that wants to come on here and talk about your experiences, the only thing we ask is that your name not be JD.
Yeah. So, but if you are an independent wrestler out there, markedoutgear@gmail.com, send us an email. We can either create an image for you for a shirt. We can create a shirt for you, or you can give us your what you have right now, and we can assist you. And this is not an either and or thing. If I don't know if there's exclusive contracts and pro wrestling tees or something like that. I don't know. We're not trying to compete. This is not you can do both, right? We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We want to help you, and you'll get most of the money. We'll probably get something very small out of it.
Yeah.
But we'd like to
less than $1 is what we'll end up with.
Right.
We're not trying to do that. We're trying to help expose you, help launch your success. We don't really care if we profit off of it.
Right.
This is a labor of love at the end of the day. We're trying to make some extra money, but that's more for studio equipment than it is anything else.
Right. So
it's not for us to draw a paycheck, just FYI.
Markedoutgear.com. That's markedout@gmail.com if you're an independent wrestler that would like to partner up with us. There you go.
So we bookended the show with shit tons of plugs. We ran long because we had a lot to discuss with 4 episodes of recap, technically.
Wow, we did, yeah.
So thank you guys for sticking with us. I know some of you on our live chat boards, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch had to call it a night. Looks like I think only our West Coasters are still with us. But it doesn't matter. Tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel. Stay tuned for the dark match.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise